Hello interwebs, welcome to Let's Fix Computers. We've got a HP 15R series here with broken hinges. Now I've been over a very similar one to this before. It's very similar to the G6 series, and I think you guys have seen me do this one before, but I'm lacking in content, so we're going to do another one. So yeah, we're going to go over this from start to finish. What's happened is the hinges have broken on the display assembly, which means when I try and open this up, everything falls apart. You can see it coming apart there, and as we take it apart, you'll see the true horror. So let's start by taking this all apart. We've got to get the display assembly off first, and we're going to have to kind of take it off in pieces. So I'm going to start by taking all the screws out the bottom. There's going to be all these ones in sight, and there's a couple hidden underneath these feet here as well. So here comes the speedy uppy bit. Well, that's a piss poor start. We've got a spinning screw already. First one. I'm trying to get this loose by putting pressure underneath the screw, by levering it up. That's going to be one of the causes of our issue. We'll see exactly why that screw was spinning in a moment when we get the rest of it apart. Don't tell me this one's gone as well. Yeah, they're both gone. That's another challenging screw there. The head's gone on this one. I'm actually going to chuck that screw out. Right. So, next, I think we're taking the top off. So let's try and open this up. So this is going to start coming off easily. However, you can see there the hinges aren't actually opening. This is just the display assembly falling apart in my hands. So what I need to do here is get my fingers right down underneath the hinges and push them open. Right from the base, so I'm bending the hinges, not the display assembly. The display assembly is already shot, but whatever. Okay, right, now I'm just going to let that... is that going to come off? Yeah, that's going to come off. This isn't screwed on, so that's okay for that to fall off. That'll go back on. And we'll just let the screen fall backwards there. Okay, so now next we need to get this keyboard out. Oof. This is very dirty, this laptop. There's grit and all sorts of stuff coming off everywhere. Right. This is a piece of crap. Look at this. That's the cooling. Right. So first of all, well, I'd say casualty number one, but whatever. So those two screws that didn't want to come out that were spinning. This is why those are spinning, because that's the bolt, or that's the nut that screw goes into, and that belongs in these holes here. So those are broken. There's not much we can do about that. If they were just fractured, I would probably push that back in there with a bit of glue and just glue it back in, and that would probably hold reasonably well. But the actual ends of those holes have come off, so that's not going to go back in there. These are semi-structural. They help with keeping the laptop rigid. They help strengthen it and help kill flex, but they're not mission critical. So we don't. I mean, if we wanted to perfect this laptop, we need to replace this top cover. However, we don't need perfection here. We just need it to be. We just need it to not fall to bits. So we're not going to worry about repairing it. These screws here, these are the super important ones. These are the ones that we need to work. So Let's get these out. Okay, so now our broken hinges can come out, and I'll show you how this all goes together in a minute so we can just see how it's broken. And now we'll just disconnect these wires so the display assembly can come away. Okay, so this normally sits here like that. So what's happened is, and this is a very common fault on all laptops, is over time these screws have become loose, these ones especially. And when they become loose, as the laptop is opened and closed, the whole hinge does that in the display assembly. And that bending has caused metal fatigue here, and it's caused this part to snap. And at that point, the whole thing now, it's only the plastic that is holding it together. Now this plastic is obviously not designed to be structural, this is just a cover. And then that has just immediately snapped all of these hinges out from the plastic casing. So that has then come off. And this has happened on both sides. Now, as I say, this is very common on a lot of laptops. However, most laptops, this is all big and bulky enough to take the strain. But on these modern laptops where everything is very thin and very swish and all the rest of it, there's no strength there. Now, high quality laptops, you know, like Apple's and stuff like that, they get away with this because it's all metal and the metal doesn't break. However, because this is all plastic and screwed into plastic and, you know, just a tin strip up the side of the screen, it just cannot take the punishment. So what we need to do now is replace this back cover and this hinge assembly, which is the hinge and the whole strip up the side of the screen. So I'll show you that in just a moment. So the way to stop this from happening is during an overhaul or serious maintenance, the covers need to be taken off and you need to go around with a screwdriver and just tighten all these screws up. This is something that I do on any laptop that comes in. When I'm working on laptops, I give the screen just a quick wobble and I feel how much play there is in those hinges. If I can feel wobble in the hinges, I'll then take the covers off and tighten them all up. If there's no wobble, I assume it's okay. 9 times out of 10, you'll always feel a little bit of wobble if there is some play. If you can't feel any wobble, if you just feel the hinge moving, that's absolutely fine. So you can feel when it's starting to go. You'll know it when you see it. Okay, so we're going to take this LCD out and the webcam and put that in the new display assembly that I've got just to my left here. Now, the parts that I've ordered are the hinges and the back panel. I bought them off eBay. I couldn't find a purple one, but I cleared having a black one with the customer. So the laptop is going to change colour. So let's take this LCD out. There's no need to undo that because I'm just going to take this whole cable out together. And I'm going to need the wireless antenna as well, so just pull all this out. So here is our new one, and here are our new hinges. So let's drop this in first. So I'll lay that down there and just lay these cables out. Alright, that's our cable routing done. Now let's put some hinges in. Now it's important to make sure that you've got your cables dead flat in the bottom left corner, because this hinge is going to sit on top of that and just hold all of that in place. So let's steal some screws. Ah, damn it. I'm going to take the magnet off my screwdriver. This is why I use magnets on my screwdriver instead of just magnetizing the screwdriver, because there are times where you don't want your screwdriver to be magnetic. Sometimes it just gets in the way. Okay, now those are all in place. Again, because these screws are a slightly weird size for my screwdriver, so I'm just going to get out my other screwdriver and just go around and just tweak all these screws up just to bite point now. Right, this is looking good now. We'll give this a proper clean up when it's all in one piece. I generally do the cleaning last because as you're working on the laptop, you'll just keep putting finger marks all over it anyway. So let's put that cover back on there. However, I will just brush the worst of the dust off here, I think. There we go. And then this front bezel is just going to click into place. There are some places where it won't feel like it's gone in properly, but what we're going to do is we're just going to go round and round a couple of times until it all closes up. There we go. Right, and I'm going to check around the edges. There we go, slight bit still up there. There we go. Oh, there we go. All right. Right, I'm going to clean that now because this is a good time for it because I've got a nice flat surface to work on. Lovely. And there's our rebuilt display assembly. You can see my face. Face reveal. There we go. The air compressor took ages to switch off then. Right, so as you can see, we've got our display assembly on. I've put in the screws, and once again, I've gone around with the bigger screwdriver and just tweaked those just so they're biting in. Not too tight, but just enough so that you know they're in. And we've just got to route this cable in place now, which is fairly easy because with no cooling system, there's plenty of room for these cables. Now, I mean, don't get me wrong, this CPU doesn't need a cooling system, that's why it's more or less not there. However, it just goes to show that these laptops have just got no horsepower in them at all. And if you want a decent work computer, yeah, these things are just horribly underpowered in my opinion. Okay, I think that's all in place. I think we're ready for the top case. Right, now these feet, what are we going to do with these? Now the problem we've got here is the point that these screws go into had broken off. So I'm going to try hot glue gunning those in, which I've done before. Now it's plastic on plastic, which is not great for, well, sorry, it's flat plastic to flat plastic, which is not great for hot glue. But I have managed this before and made them stick nicely. And the advantage of hot glue is that if you really want to, you can actually get them back off again. So it just means that if this laptop comes in for more work or someone else is looking at it, a prying tool under there and they will pop off again. So I'm going to warm up the hot glue gun. Oh yes. There we go. Now we'll give that a clean. We will be done. Oh, it makes such a difference. It makes such a massive difference. Just a simple wipe down. Look at that. And now look, lovely and shiny with a nice and shiny screen and a lovely new top case, which is a boring black, but it's got a very nice little sort of slightly sparkly finish to it. And what I'll do, I'll just use some Mr. Sheen on the top there, and that will just keep the finger marks off of that, and it will just keep it nice and shiny. There we go, and now I can wipe my hand across that without leaving any marks. Beautiful. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you all next time, guys. Bye for now.